Hello my friend. Today I meet Matthew, who made top 8 at Novoy Regionals with Plunder Patroll.
Okay, so thanks Belowsky. So I finished in the 6th place and I will do 5-1-1 at the final result. So first I face a Sprite Tribigard, which is I won. Then I face 2 Swordsoul when I won, and I faced 1 Kashtira and I lose against Kashtira. Then I won against Exosister and Sprite to finally result by a draw against mirror match Plunder Brave. So I will going to talk about the deck list now. So first we have the Plunder card, 3 White Bird, this is the key of the deck, and 3 Golden Hair because this is the tuner of the decks and also an extender, 3 Blue Bird for the extender, 3 Black Eyes for the extender and backup for the next turn, then 2 Red Bird, only 2 because we didn't want more than 1 in the hand and they're going to be special summoned by White Bear. So if we have 1 in your hand, we will not going to special summon from the deck, and we want to special summon it from the deck. This is why we need 2 of them, but not 3 to avoid the break hand. 3 field spell, which is to add any Plunder card by discard 1 card. So this is the most powerful card in this deck. It also increases the attack of monster and going back to the spell trap card from the graveyard. 1 Eclipse spell to do easily the OTK just by giving the token to the opponent. Then the next turn we're going to take the token by this card and going to special summon from the extra deck to OTK. Then finally 1 trap, which is to play against a control deck, and this gives a really good value, and also it's really interesting against the mirror match or something when the attribute is not prevalent for our deck. So this is all cards for the main core of Plunder. Now we're going to talk about the Brave package. So for the Brave we have 2 Enchantress, 1 Griffon, 1 Illegal Knight, 2 Writ, 1 Faithful and 1 Back. So 2 of them, because if we have 3 of them they're going to be too bricky. Even if Enchantress at 3 will be okay, but I will stay in 40 cards in the main deck to do easily Yard, because the key of the deck is to do a Yard at the first turn, so I just put it at 2 for the Yard combo. And 1 Illegal Knight because it's really interesting against some back row decks such as Labyrinth or Tactics. And it is also a good attribute for doing Moerk against some specific decks. So now I'm going to talk about Untraps and Worldbreaker. So I play 3 Ash and 3 Nibiru. So Nibiru is basically against Kashtira if they're going to not respect Nibiru. And also this is against some rogue decks such as Swordsoul, because I faced 2 of them, so this is really interesting against them. It's also interesting against Branded if they're going to do a biggest loop without using dragons. And Ash is against Labyrinth, which is almost our worst matchup at this part. And is also relevant against Branded, and sometimes against Kashtira is enough to stop it if we just have unicorns. For Boardbreaker, I play 2 Lava Golems and 2 Book of Moon. This is mainly for Kashtira matchup, but they are also useful against some other matchups, so I just put it at 2 because they are not prevalent against our worst matchups such as Trap 6 or Labyrinth. And the Blonded don't care about the Book of Moon, but they are still interesting against the Swordsoul or Sprite also. So this is why I play just 2 of them. I just want to play 3 Lava Golem because we need sometimes a normal summon, and if we do not have the Brave package we can abuse of the effect of Lava Golem. So against the new future, if everyone is going to play around Lava Golem, I will recommend you to play Keiju, because Keiju is better in the Plunder. With a Slumber card, it will be really interesting. So one Terraformation, because it's really it's just too powerful to add a field spell sometimes. And finally, 2 Rivalry. So why Rivalry? This is basically because when we're going to start and we can do the yard combo with Rivalry, I win almost all the time, because they're just going to give up, because we give they stun in a Fiend type, so we're just going to put all monster on the death position and wait for the OTK, and they can break it because we're going to take a fire monster to just remove the back row. So now we're going to talk about the extra deck. So one Almirage. This is for the Bluebird, because it works for Golden Hair and Bluebird and also Redbird. So if we have Bluebird, sometimes we're just going to do Almirage and discard 1 card to draw, and if we have a bricky hand, or doing Blackbird but just normal summon Golden Hair, Almirage, and then special summon Golden Hair from your graveyard to going to do a Blackbird. So this Almirage can be a starter, so it's really interesting. But if you're going to try the runic package with Plunder, you don't need it. So this is just for the Plunder Brave and Plunder Pure Plunder with Kaiju. So Dragette. So Dragette, this is against Labyrinth and some other matchup. Sometimes they don't really care about the tuner and no tuner. They just think about you going to do Bran. And Dragette is not so much here in this day, so when I'm going to summon it, they're just going to screw a lot of resources to destroy it. It's also a much powerful card because I play 3 Nibiru, so sometimes we're going to do the first effect, and if we reverse some Nibiru, we're going to do a good board breaker also. So one Bagushka, this is basically against this is against Kashtira. If we have a bricky hand with just 1 Redbeard and Bluebird, we're just going to do a Babushka pass and hope they didn't going to beat him. And it's also good against some matchups, sometimes against Labyrinth. They help us to going to do Zeus. So Zeus is basically for any deck when we're going to do some Axis Shaman to break the board, when they're going to have no targeted monster, such as Lady and other things. And then we have all Plunder extra monster. So 2 Lys, 2 Yord, and 2 Bran, 2 Mork, and 3 Blackbird. So why 2 of each ship? This is of course against Kashtira. Also, this is good target for some Kashtira player. They're just going to rip the Zeus, and we have all the Plunder package for the extra deck. So this is very interesting. So for the ship, we're going to play 2 because we did not want to lose any ship when we're going to start our turn. So this is why I play 2 Yord. And Bran is also because it's really relevant against back row decks, which is sometimes our worst matchups, such as Traptrix and Labyrinth. For Merc and Bran, 2 is really standard, and 3 Blackbird because this is the key monster and the easiest to summon. So this is all for extra deck. Now we're going to talk about the side deck. So, as I said before, I really hate Labyrinth deck, so I play 3 Dinkoseka, which is basically the best normal summon against them. They're not going to break it, and there is also really good against Matmech, because we can just normal summon, they don't do Super Factorial, and we're going to rip the board by the Brave package and or Lava Golem and something else. I also play 5 Bestial, so 3 Magma Mute, 1 Dressum and 1 Bad Break. So why one of each? This is just because this is different name. And Druism can be useful sometimes to just send to the graveyard without destroy it. 3 Mammoth to add because they have good value, and this is against a dark and light deck such as Branded, Matmek, which is popular in this meta, and also some tricky deck we can see like Dark World, and also some other dark and light deck. So this is principally mainly against Matmek and Branded. They are also used against Dark World and Exosister. I decided against Exosisters. If they don't have any monster on the field, we're going to just rip the combo. So for going second card, I play Free Darkle, which is really interesting and good. I recommend you, but if you play the Kaiju package, we can play Slumber instead. So Darkhold was really interesting against Sprite, because if they don't think about it, they don't going to summon Carrot, especially against our deck where monster is more interesting. So they're just going to, I just choose Darkhold against Sprite and win the game. They are also good against Kashtira. And against Branded, when they try to lock you with Gimmick Puppet or Rad Disciple or other monster that's just going to, you're just going to clean the board. So we're now going to do all the combo. They also, in some times, they can help us when we have Rivalry and the token of the Enchantress. We're just going to rip the token to going to do the Plunder combo. And we have also Heavenly. So Heavenly is really useful in this meta. Not relevant against us because we're just going to give a token in your opposite board, so they can't doing Heavenly match. I didn't decide to play Gamma because some of them tried Gamma, but they are not really interesting when we draw with Blackbird. And Gamma package is huge in terms of number of cards in the side. Heavenly is against back row deck, and some Kashtira they don't going to play around this. And it's just the best going second card for the deck right now, if we do not play the Runic package. And finally, the last one, Rivalry, if I go first. And know the Yord combo is really interesting against the deck, so I'm just going to put the third Rivalry and just try to open it to do the combo and just win the game. When I resolve the Rivalry Yord combo, almost 90% of the time I win the match, the game against with this combo. So this is all for the deck profiles.
Okay, thank you, Matthew. Any last word?
I want to thank everyone for the tournament, and especially Drive teams. I want also to thank the Plunder Patroll Duelist group on Facebook, which is really interesting to talk about people who love the decks, and hope we have more new members in the future. So have a nice day.
Thanks.